Indeed, we are back. 6 brand new games for your review entertainment, plus a special guest, Katastrophy.
Hey everybody, Katastrophy here. Nice to meet you and be a part of a Indie-Zees video.
Please, the pleasure is all mine. As always, the links to all of today's games are in the word box below. Let's get it started. Game number 1. We started off bold this session, skipping the Haque tutorial in hopes that the gameplay would be able to communicate itself effectively without any need for hand-holding. And it did. I had a lovely time baby-stepping my way through this RPG roguelike adventure, testing out buttons and exploring in more ways than one. My first character was this eagle werewolf class with a pet scorpion? Lobster. A jackalope? Okay, I see it now. I didn't much care for the CRT effect. It made the game look too dark and fuzzy, and I'm sure that's the appeal for many a player seeking some retro feel, but I just loved how much the colors popped and how crisp the lines were without it. The writing was classy and funny, mysterious and engaging, pretty much all from this old Ben Kenobi type, except more subtly sinister. If there's something going on around here, some sort of twist or subversion the developers are setting up to be paid off later down the road, very well done. I'm compelled to continue to play for that reason alone. The music, incredible. It was all over the place and mixes acoustic and electronic instruments together to fantastic effect. I can hardly describe its all-encompassingness in any meaningful way, so I'm just going to link it in the word box below so you can go get some of it for yourself. Or just play the game, but really the music does stand on its own. I'm listening to it right now, it's great. Now, re-rolling a sorcerer, armed with a wand and a dream, I set out to surpass my previous character. Could I overcome where they had perished? Would it be possible to go beyond the limitations of a dead generation? Would I avenge Flopsy the jackalope? Find out right now when I tell you yes, that's exactly what I did. Haque is only $15 US. Go play it. Oh, game number 2! Fugue in Void is a €5 gallery walking simulator that starts with a roughly 10-minute birthing cinematic, artistically speaking, which made me wonder if it's an on-rails experience. It's not. Trust me, the sound designer put way too much effort in the Foley footwork to not show these bad boys off. On top of the impressive sound design, the visual art presented in Fugue in Void ranges from stunning to trippy to thought-provoking. It takes about 45 minutes from start to end and is meant to be played all at once. It's a game. Give it a look. A game on number 3. So, I've never actually beaten a tactical RPG before. XCOM, played it, but no. Fire Emblem, played many of them, but never beat them. Final Fantasy Tactics, yes. Well, actually no, but that's the one I've gotten closest to. Somewhat for lack of trying, I suppose the discipline or attention span required to go hard and follow through with these kinds of games just are outside of my grasp. Or maybe the setting never really fully engaged me. In any case, the box art of Depth of Extinction had me a little excited. I mean, look at this cast. Cybergirl, Shirtless Man, Shark. I want to play as this shark. The game opens with an in-engine cutscene where they introduce some Waterworld-like plot, or something. Honestly, I haven't seen Waterworld, and the plot of this game is escaping me right now, but there is a Star Wars reference I remember, and that almost makes up for no shark as a playable character. The RPG elements here seem well fleshed out. There's lots of random loot drops and customization, and I really want to praise the follow system they implemented here. Because you'll be navigating the maps as a team, it's really helpful that you can choose one main character that the party will follow, in addition to picking up loot and readying their action shot, called Overwatch in this game, and that almost makes up for no shark as a playable character. Overall, I give this game a score of 0 out of 1 sharks, which is to say, if you like tactical RPGs and hate sharks, give it a look. We're on to game number 4. Is he getting better or worse? Anodyne is a top-down 2D adventure game. You know how much I love these guys. But it's weird, and not in any specific tangible way so far. Like, I have a broom, I'm collecting pictures, I just pushed a fisherman to his death and now I'm in hell? This is all some sort of self-proclaimed mind trip, and maybe I just need to see the whole thing through before I get any sort of semblance of idea what's going on. The puzzles are really great. The mechanics of using the broom to pick up dust and then using that dust in creative ways, yes, love it. The writing is bonkers, but sometimes in a funny way. Truthfully, there's an emotional tie that's lacking here, and I know it's there. I want to like Anodyne more than I do right now. It's on my list of Indie-Zees games to play again when I have time, and I hope I have more interesting and insightful things to say about it after a full playthrough. Right now, give it a look. Also, I'm aware of an Anodyne 2 out there. Can't speak to that right now, but the original must have had some good lovin' to create an offspring. Coitus innuendo. Nailed it. Game number 5. Yeah, definitely worse. You want insight? Go spend some alone time on a rocky hilltop in quiet as a stone. Quiet as a stone. Crushing gems and collecting gems and spending gems on more rocks and trees and bridges sometimes. I was never much one for using games as tools, editing modes and the like. Loved Halo 3, never built anything in the Forge. Tony Hawk Pro Skater was an absolute jam, never park edited. Super Mario Maker, I don't even own it. And I love the Switch, I bought it opening day. Breath of the Wild, heck yeah. I had to put it down to write the rest of these reviews, but perhaps I'm not looking for that sort of game as tool experience. Or maybe I've never given it the fair shot it deserves. I'm pretty creative, I art sometimes, and I did have some fun writing my friends' names in the rocks, and creating this rock monument to me. A rock me-you-ment. A me-rock-you-ment. Give it a look. Quiet as a stone. I'm gonna pass it on over to special guest Katastrophy for the final game. I'm so happy to have her here and willing to share her experience with all you lovely people. Take it away, Kat.
Oof, secret little haven. When I first encountered this game, I did so completely blind. I wasn't aware that this was a trans story, at least not until I saw the list of medications in Alex's email inbox, and I recognized them as being mostly the same scripts I fill every 3 months or so. As the game continued, I realized more and more that this was a lived experience of mine in some really clear and unsettling ways. I was afraid to play this game. Not only were many of my experiences growing up reflected in the trials that Alex, our protagonist here, faces, but it also did an excellent job of evoking the feeling, the anxiety of living as a trans woman. I'll try and go over this without too many spoilers because I really do believe that this is an experience worth having for yourself. Many of the conversations Alex has in her journey parallel ones that I've had in my own, from kids in my high school telling me I needed to get into sports or take steroids to bulk up and be a real man, to the girl who said I'd make an ugly girl after someone called me ma'am for the first time in my life. I would like to share a story with you. And you can't really stop me, unless your name is Indie-Zees and you're editing this, I guess. But I recall once telling somebody that I thought it was weird that every baby chick grows up in the dark in a confined egg, that their entire world, everything they've ever known, is inside of that egg, and every baby chick eventually decides to crack the sky, break their entire world. I wondered if they knew there was something on the other side. Could they hear their mother, maybe? Or were they just gambling that it wasn't an endless void? But every chick eventually needs to grow, and living inside an egg must become intolerable eventually. Ironically, a year or so later, I began my own transition, breaking out of my own egg to discover a bright, wide world. The experience of playing this game, of being trans and coming out to the people in my life, is very much so the same experience of that egg hatching. You don't know for sure that it's going to be okay, you just know that you need to do something to grow and flourish, and you have no promise that you're not going to destroy your whole world in that process. For me, Secret Little Haven evoked that feeling better than anything else I've ever done, short of actually transitioning. Other than a few puzzles, there's not much to speak of here in terms of gameplay mechanics, but the 90s aesthetic and backdrop is phenomenal for a visual storytelling medium like this, and gives the whole thing a unique feel. Oftentimes, the experience of playing this game left me reeling with emotional whiplash, from feeling excited about the possibilities that awaited Alex, about how she can grow and change and claim her life for herself, to the soul-crushing fear and anxiety of those possibilities just going wrong, to a level that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to continue playing this game. Dealing with the abusive people in Alex's life and seeing her friendships struggle, strain, and stumble made me not know if I was going to be able to continue this game at a few points. But ultimately, I'm glad I persisted. In the same way that transitioning for me has been hard sometimes, in a way that's occasionally made me wonder if I could persist with that, or if I could survive it. However, Every day I'm glad for the person I've become. I'm much happier in spite of the challenges, the anxieties, and the effort. And I'm very lucky to have not have experienced all of the same abuses that Alex has and many trans women have. I personally know many people who've undergone the very same gaslighting, emotionally abusive, manipulative, and controlling behaviors from their supposed friends, family, or other people in their lives. Again, this game does an amazing job of putting you into those shoes and evoking so much of the struggles that we trans women have had to and still do undergo in the process of claiming our lives for ourselves. If you want to understand other people's plight a little bit better, if you want to get a glimpse into somebody else's life and their lived experiences, I can't think of a better way to do it than this game. It's exciting, it's emotionally draining, I can't recommend it enough. Play it.
What a session. We laughed, we cried, we killed fishermen and our fathers. I hope all of you are hanging in there, striving if you're able, surviving if you can. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you in the next one.